Hey booze. So you already know I made a mistake the last video. I said the last part was part 9, but this is actually the last part was part 8. This is actually part 9. But before we get into the continuation of this video, you already know Second Chance Approved by Ming. If you need any help getting approved for cars, loans, apartments, houses, listen, y'all with some care credit, get your motherfucking body done, all that good shit, hit me up on Instagram at Second Chance Approvals by Ming. Alright, let's get back into the video. I looked him up on that website. Lo and behold, he got a whole fucking case. So whatever you want, I wanna please you more. Whatever. So whatever car, remember when I was telling y'all that he basically had got a car off of CPN that somebody else had made him or whatever. I don't know what weird shit he did, because this is not what happened with CPNs, y'all. So when y'all buy yours off of me, just know this is not what happens, or with anybody. He did some other shit. Whatever he did, I don't know if he got the car and didn't pay the car note, or got the car and didn't really pay for it. However it was, he did some weird shit and got locked up for it. So he had a whole, this is the case that he got locked up for. This nigga pops up on me and I asked him, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, so what you locked up for? Mind you, I already know. This nigga telling me he's locked up for a case, because he didn't want to tell me he got locked up for stealing. So I'm like, okay. So I'm just going along with it, knowing that I know you're fucking lying. I'm just going along with your story. So, but long story short, that's basically what I had brought up when I was like, and I said, wow, I said, you really a little ass boy that I really wish I never fucking met, and all that other shit. So he ended up sending me a picture of him basically trying to prove that he was at his sister's house waiting for me to get to the airport. He really fell asleep. He said, I even got my clothes on, hoodie. He said, I my hoodie on. He said, bitch, you selfish. I swear I'm gonna slap the fuck out of you. Watch, I'm on my way. Watch this. I said, fuck you. I said, you wanna call me a bitch and not make sure I'm cool after leaving me stranded, bitch, go die. I said, you calling me out my name like I did something to you, eat a dick. He said, I'm a little boy because you disrespected me first. You a clean Wallahi. I said, you lie so much. Whole time I knew what you was booked for. I even asked you why. You really sat in my face and said, because of my pole, aka his. He said, I said, you are a pathetic ass excuse for a man. Seriously, eat a dick. Don't say shit else to me. I said, theft, receiving, I start reading out his charges. I said, theft, receiving stolen property, forgery, tamper, and unauthorized use of moving a vehicle, to be exact. Bitch, you been a liar. I said, bitch, how I disrespect you? Like, I'm not supposed to be mad you left me stranded for the second time. You should have never offered. I didn't need nothing from you. I said, now I'm about to disrespect you and I'm gonna get you beat the fuck up. So I said, I'm really gonna get you touched. I said, fuck you, stop texting me. I said, you a little ass boy. I said, anything could have happened to me. You ain't even say you was on your way. You called me a bitch like I did something to you. Fuck you, and I mean that shit. I said, pathetic ass excuse for a man. I said, you really never gonna be able to keep a bitch. You a mess and you really don't know how to be a man. You disgust me, yo. He said, I'm gonna really wind up doing something to you for talking to me like that, real shit. Like I didn't do it purposely. You hype for nothing. You making me mad. I said, bye, stop fucking texting me. If you try to come here, I'm gonna spit in your fucking face. Leave me the fuck alone. He said, I apologize, and no, you still going crazy. You really need you really need help. He said, where you at, yo? I said, he said, where you at, yo? He said, you say that all the time, because when I said I was spitting his face, I do say that all the time. So I said, just pulled up. Bye. I don't know why the fuck you worried about where I'm at. Stop fucking texting me before I block you. Real shit. He said, and I'm gonna pull up and don't shit be happening, but you be kissing me. But he basically saying, like, you don't be spitting in my face. I be pulling up and you be like, shut up. So anyway, so I was like, I said, bye the fuck. He said, I ain't even see this. I said, when I said I'm gonna really get you touched, he said, I ain't even see this, LOL. I promise you won't be crying after that. Please get me touched. I said, I was saying that because you was acting like you was coming here, but I know you're not that stupid. Just stay away from me. He said, bro, I stayed at, basically telling me he stayed at his sister crib. He was like, because she lived like 3 minutes away from the airport. Bitch, when I talked to you, I was just waking up, had to pick my car key up, left my keys, and I had to pick my daughter up. The fuck, I don't give a fuck. We never ever got to talk again. Bitch, get me touched. I promise I'm going to drop you right with them. He said, I would stay far away from you after you just said you're going to get me touched over this shit. LOL, okay. He said, ain't shit going to happen. I put my life, ain't shit going to happen. I said, you're not going to do shit. You want to get touched, pull up to my grandma's house if you ain't. And you say all that cool shit now, but you stay crawling back on my dick. I said, stand on there. You said you was leaving me in the parking lot last time and ain't do shit because you a pussy. I said, I can't believe I let agate fuck me. So long story short, the parking lot was basically when me and him had that crazy ass argument. I had said something like, I just was making crazy ass threats to him, like, pussy, like, you better leave me the fuck alone if you want to be here to raise your daughter. Like, shit, like, I be talking, I talk ruthless. I could probably insert that screenshot actually, but I talks ruthless. I don't be giving a fuck. And I said something about, I don't know, but whatever it was, he like, bitch, fuck is you talking about now since you put my daughter in it? Watch, I'ma treat you and whoever like a fucking I don't know who the fuck you think I am. I'm not one of them, you tripping. I said, I ain't say nothing about your daughter, nigga. I'm talking about you. But that's pretty much how it happened. So after that, he said, I'ma leave in the parking lot. Da, 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 da. He was talking crazy. So I'm like, okay, whatever. That shit don't scare me. So we was just arguing. So he must ain't peeped that I had sent that message reading out all his charges to him. So now he just peeped it. So he like, so now he just peeped it. And he was like, I'm just now seeing this. Oh. Cause that was the other thing he used to say. He's so fucking weird. He always trying to say I got him locked up. How the fuck did I get you locked up? So he going to say, did you pull up the charges in county or Philly charges? Nigga, these your only charges. Stop trying to make it seem like you got a pole case somewhere. You don't have a pole case. You got locked up for stealing. So he said, you the one that got me booked, stupid dickhead. If you want to be real, I ain't never bring that up because I chalked it and the shit got thrown out. But did you pull up my county case, dickhead? Fuck this case. I said, I got you booked. He said, I'm just now seeing this. I said, fuck is you talking about? He said, you just be talking. You don't read shit. You be texting because you just be talking, dickhead. He said, I ignore messages. I don't read bullshit. I skip past it till I'm ready to read it. He said, you did. You get me booked. I says, how? I said, shut the fuck up, dumb bitch. I said, how I get you booked? He said, I never brought it up because I don't give a fuck. He talking about, bitch, you did. If I ain't love you and love your son and your mom, I would have dropped your dumb ass. He said, charged it to the game. I said, okay, so bring it in. He said, just love me for that. He said, you the one. I don't know what the fuck he was talking about. Basically trying to say I got him locked up. I don't know how the fuck. He's weird as shit. But I know me and my mom, I know I had got this joke from my mom. It was so funny. But I said, bitch, he talking about just know I'm the realest nigga you ever going run across or whatever. I said, bitch, you far from that. I said, ain't nothing real about you. Even your dress. I said, your dress probably even fake. I said, bitch, stop talking in circles and tell me how I got you booked. He said, my dress fake. I'm crying. He said, I'm fake. He said, I'm putting my daughter to sleep. He said, I'll pull up on you. My mom just got back. I said, you fake as shit. I never met a nigga like you. I said, low key would never. I said, pull up so you can get punched in your mouth. Why you ain't go? He said, then he trying to act like me, telling me to give him his stuff back. Like, he's so gay. He said, I'm going to go ahead about my business. You're a liar. He said, I get the lying shit from you. You a good liar. I said, how I'm a liar? Then he go and say, I'm with my bitch. I said, OMG, I'm crying. You so funny. Yo, now you with a bitch. You just told me you with your, and sent me a picture with your daughter. He's so sick. So mind you, in the midst of this, he's blowing my phone up. Because once I started talking about his charges and stuff, in his head, he probably like, yo, how the fuck did this bitch... Like, what? So he blowing me up. So first I'm declining his calls. Then I finally pick up the phone. So now I'm cursing him the fuck out. And then he trying to be all, like, nice and shit like that. But I'm basically saying, like, fuck him. So I'm, like, saying all this shit or whatever. So when I finally get in the house or whatever, get to the crib, my mom opened the door, right? My mom opened the door. So I'm on the phone with him. But I'm telling her, like, yeah, this nigga's a weirdo. Like, he fucking left me at the airport. Da, 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 da. My mom, like, I told you. Da, 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 da. So he like, who that? He said, you talking to your mom? I said, yeah. He got real quiet and then just hung up. Because I told y'all, he's obsessed with my mom. And he, even that day that I was telling you about when I just said he came in here lying about his case. He came in here, right, trying to fight me because he was fucking talking about low-key. Again, he'll talk about low-key out of nowhere. Talking about low-key. This nigga is chasing me around the house, punching me and all that. Like, really chasing me and shit like that. I'm trying to call my mom. He like, stop fucking telling your mom our business. He talking about she don't need to know our business because she need to be on my side. Da, 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 da. So then, what the fuck happened? I was making a point. If I could remember the point I was making, I'm gonna put it in here. But yeah, so my mom, he used to just hate when I told my mom stuff and shit like that. So whatever happened, he came in here, he all hugging my mom and stuff like that. He just used to be so weird. Like, he just used to be obsessed with having this good image with my mom. Like, it was so weird. So he like, that's your mom? So I'm like, yeah. He just got real quiet and hung up. Like, he just hung up that phone so fucking fast. So now I'm gassed up. So now I'm calling him back. He blocked me. So I keep calling him. Call him. So he finally answered, like, what the fuck are you calling me for? Da, da, da. He started saying some shit about low-key. Then he like, what you calling me for? Cause you, that like, mind you, he's so mad now. Now he's so mad because he know I told my mom. So now we talking. I'm cursing him the fuck out. He talking crazy to me or whatever, and we just was talking, and then somehow we ended up on low key, talking about low key again. So we talking and shit, and eventually the conversation had calmed down. Like, we was on the phone. If I probably got in the house probably like close to 2 something, we was on the phone probably till like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. So we talking and shit, and he came here. I mean, no, I'm lying. So we talking and shit. So the whole time he like just saying all this stuff. Yo, I gotta tell you about this nigga. This nigga is a fucking weirdo. So the nigga, he's basically pillow talking about his baby mom. Like, we on the phone just talking about everything, but he's doing most of the talking. He's talking about his baby mom. I already told her, he told me she was stealing and stuff like that, but he's talking about his baby mom, telling me how she was cheating on him with some nigga that basically is like the same situation. Like, how was oh my god, what is it? How was him and low key or whatever? It's kind of the same situation like that with him and his baby mom. It's like his baby mom basically was talking to this boy since she was like, it's this boy that she been dealing with, where her ex or whatever that she been dealing with and known since she was like 14. So they like grew up together and shit like that. So she knew him, and that's like her ex or some shit like that. But he was cool with Legion, and Legion kind of like stole the baby mom from him, and it's like they still had to see each other and stuff like that, and like shake hands and shit like that, some shit like that. But he basically took the baby mom from the boy or whatever, and it's like they was cool. So it's like, it's kind of like the same situation with like Low Key and Legion or whatever. So he was basically telling me about that. He was basically telling me how he said his baby mom one day had went through his phone, or tried to go through his phone because he fell asleep. Because I told you, this nigga would literally stay up for like 3 days straight and then fall asleep. Like, he could fall asleep standing up because that's how tired he be. So I guess something like that happened. Like, he fell asleep on a couch or something with his phone still unlocked. So the baby mama took the opportunity to go through the phone and shit, or use his something, because he left the phone unlocked or whatever. So she took the phone or whatever. She went through it and shit, and he's like, she basically seen videos of him like fucking bitches. And no, not fucking bitches. What he said, he's such a fucking liar. What he said was, let me put this in my notes so I can know to come back to this. He basically said his baby mom went through his, I got that from when I actually talked to her, but we gonna get to that. But he basically tried to make it seem like his baby mom went through his phone and seen stuff like like stuff of me and him. That's what he basically tried to say. Like, oh, it was me and you, and she got mad and all this other shit. But my whole thing is like, how she getting mad if you're not like, I just be confused a little bit, like, you know. So he like, yeah, he like, she took my phone and went through my shit, and he was telling me how one time it was a girl that she was fighting with, and he like ended up fucking that girl. Like, he's so disrespectful, yo. Like, a girl that she was fighting with, like, you know how like if you out with somebody and y'all together and y'all end up fighting, y'all basically both fighting the ops or whatever. Like, it's somebody she was fighting with against other people, and he like ended up fucking that girl or fucking with the girl or whatever. She ended up finding out about that. He said that like when she asked him about it, he telling me a bunch of like old shit though. Like when she asked him about it, he just like bust out laughing and shit like that, like in her face and shit like that. And he was like, one time she went through his phone again, or tried to go through his phone again, and she tried to go through his phone again, and when she did that, he basically had her at point and held it up and was like, you want to keep going through my shit, now give me your fucking phone. And she was like bitching, like not I don't even want to say bitching, because like I don't know why you would think some shit like that is cool to do to a girl, but she basically like, alright, like I'm gonna unlock my phone, like why he got the like this is what he's telling me. Lying. It all ended up being made up, but not all of it, but most of it ended up being made up. But he basically said he was doing that to her, like making her like put her information in her phone, and that he was telling me how one time he choked her out so bad that like she actually went unconscious and like started shaking and shit like that. He was scared of shit and was trying to wake her up and stuff like that. Which ended up, she did tell me that part was true, but we're going to get to that part. But yeah, what else he was telling me? He was telling me, but so alright, so this is how weird this fucking nigga is, right? We gonna come back to this, but this is how weird the nigga is, right? Say it's a girl, right? he basically telling me a bunch of shit. He talking about his, but he not just talking about the baby mom. He's telling me about his baby mom, his ex and stuff like that. Mind you, this, I'm so dumb for even still being in contact with him, because it's like this nigga just left me at the airport, but he just suckered me yet again into another fucking conversation. So he like yeah, he telling me about his ex and shit like that. So mind you, I never knew I don't know who none of his exes or none of that. So he like telling me about his ex. So we gonna say like a real uncommon name, because this is a real uncommon name. It's a cute name, but it's a real uncommon name. So what's the uncommon name? We gonna say fucking Omarosa. I don't like that name, but we gonna say that the girl name was Omarosa, right? The old ex. So he basically was telling me how he just was giving me a rundown on everything and saying how he went to, that his ex name was Omarosa. So as he's telling me the name, I don't know what the fuck made me type in the name on Instagram, but when he's telling me the name, I typed the name in on Instagram and it's a page that come up. So the first page I click on, I see that we had a lot of mutual followers, so I assume that's who he talking about. So I'm like, I said, oh, her name is something on Instagram, and he started cracking up laughing like, yo, you really a fucking detective. So he like, yeah, that's my ex. I'm like, oh, she real pretty, like she pretty as shit. Like, I ain't a hater, like, so I'm like she pretty as shit or whatever. So I'm like, so he telling me about this ex Omarosa, right? So he like, I'm only telling y'all this because y'all have to hold on to this for the last part of the story. For the last part of the story, y'all have to hold on to this. So he telling me about Omarosa and shit like that. So I'm like, oh, okay. He telling me how they went to Puerto Rico and how he was already over her by the time he had met his baby mom. So he had broke up with her by the time they had came back here. He was telling me why him and the other girl broke up, like saying because when they was in Puerto Rico, she went through his phone or thought he was in a bathroom texting the girl. Whatever the fuck happened, he was telling me that's why, you know, they had stopped seeing eye to eye. So he just telling me a bunch of shit. If I could think about anything else he was telling me, I'ma tell you. But just know, just please hold on to this Omarosa shit, okay? Just remember, he told me he has an ex. The ex name is Omarosa. I ended up looking at it on Instagram. I ended up saying, oh, this is her name on Instagram. Da, da, da. He like, he's laughing like, yo, you a fucking detective. But yeah, that's her. Da, 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 da. Okay, cool. Whatever. So after that, what the fuck happened? So long story short, like I said, we ended up being on the phone till like fucking like 6 in the morning or some shit like that. So now he just on the phone like, can I please come see you, and we just have a civilized conversation. Like, I really want to talk to you. I'm like, talk to me about what? He like us, like blah, 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 like I'm really ready to stop playing all this other little cool shit. So I'm like, whatever. So I'm like, well, when you coming to do that? Because we ended up being on FaceTime, because he wanted to FaceTime me to show me his daughter. We ended up being on FaceTime, and he was saying that he was coming and shit. So I'm like, okay, whatever. This one is almost over, y'all. So basically, I think this was the next day, maybe. No, it was the same day. So he said he was coming, but at this point it's like 8 o'clock in the morning. So I had texted him. I said, lying again. He said, what, yo? I said, oh. So he must ain't see the message till later, like after he came. I said that was earlier, before you took your daughter to school. But I had texted him. I said, the day is over at this point. I said, you don't have to come no more. I'm going back to sleep. It's time for me to take my son to school. So he said, shut the fuck up and let me handle what I'm handling. Day not over. It was only like 11 o'clock in the morning. But like, he was irritating me because you keep saying you coming and you not coming. So I said, whatever. So that was that or whatever. So the next day he texted me at like the same night, but kind of next day technically, because it's like 2 in the morning. He texted me with the irk face. So I said, what? I said, I just woke back up. He said, nothing, shaking my head. I said, I hate when you do that. Where you at and what you doing? He said, bro, I stayed in gym. He said, basically he was saying like he stayed in Germantown and was waiting, forgot the car battery was dying, left the lights on, and now he just out there. Basically saying he was like stranded in Germantown because his stupid ass decides to leave the fucking lights on and the car battery died. That's not my problem yet again. So he said, I'm mad as shit. But then at that point I wasn't on no it's not my problem shit, because I did ask him. I said, well, why wouldn't you call me? Like, what? I said, where you at? He said, you didn't get my call. You never called me. I said, I don't got a missed call. I said I could come get you or whatever. He said, come on, you don't know I'm tired. So I had went to go get him and shit. So he comes over here mind you, he was so hype on, oh, I really want to come over there and have a civilized conversation. I'm ready to stop playing, da da da. So he come over here and he don't even say shit. Like, what the fuck did you act like you wanted to be serious for? So he came over here. So I'm like, well, what did you want to talk about? He like, I'm just ready to stop playing. So I'm like, I don't even think I really entertained the conversation, because it was like, boy, you're not saying nothing. Like, you just keep talking about you ready to stop playing. That's not telling me nothing. Like, that's not, what the fuck am I supposed to do with that information? Honestly, truthfully, what am I supposed to do with that information? So he like, so what the fuck did he say? So we just was talking, and I'm like, I gotta think about that one. Like, I don't know. So we basically talking and shit. So eventually he ended up leaving and shit like that. And I don't even know what the hell we was doing. I think, oh, okay, so this is the night that he went to my job, right? So remember how I told y'all how the car battery died? So I ended up letting him, he ended up saying he was cleaning out the car and stuff like that. He was cleaning out the car and stuff like that. So he had to come, because I let him, okay, so he used the car. This was the only time I ever, well, I think I did it like twice, but this is the only time I had like let him use the car, because he had to take the car to go pick up his car and then bring me the car back. So it was like, it wasn't like I was letting him ride it and joyride it. No, I let him take the car to go get his car, and he had to bring me the car back. So this was the night that he ended up coming to my job. I was working at the loft. Well, yeah, I was working at the loft. So he came there or whatever. So this is so funny. He came there or whatever, and then he left, and then he came back when it was time for him to bring me the car and shit. So he had brought me the car and shit. So I had went outside. I was talking to him and shit. So we bit and we laughing and shit like that. We just playing around and shit like that. He like, and we standing outside. So he like, yeah, he said, I told y'all he always bring up the low-key shit. Like every time that when low-key was like, yo, stop playing, and he yelled out the window and shit like that. So the other part that I had left out with the low-key situation, remember how I kept saying that, like, Legion kept bringing it up. Like every day he just kept bringing it up, trying to figure out what was going on. And I remember he kept saying no, because you don't understand, I had a missed call at 6 a.m. That was the same time. A missed call. He kept saying he had a missed call. So I told y'all, low-key, that's when I found out that low-key actually did call him, but he called him on Instagram, and he like, yo, oh Lord, I had a missed call from him at the same time that you said da 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 da. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, he knew, but he just was waiting for me to confirm it. Like the fact that he yelled out the window, he fucking called him at 6 in the morning. He had the missed call from him at 6 in the morning, and I left at 6 in the morning. Like, he just was putting two and two together like that, but he kept bringing up that 6 a.m. phone call. He always bring that up. So he he ended up saying some shit like, yo, he said that's crazy, like he gonna be mad or something if he find out like I fuck with you, some shit he said. And I was like, I said low-key no. He said, yo, he said he know. I was like, yeah. He was like so shocked to see that, and I'm like, yeah. And I just bust out laughing, and I only bust out laughing because he asked me 1,000,001 times about that car shit. Every time he pulled up on me, if we riding around, he'll always say, oh yeah, mind you, another thing that I gotta rewind to is the fact that the night that low-key ended up like saying something to me like, yeah, you be doing, like when we was in the car and he was blacking on me about it or whatever, and I was asking him, do he still love me and shit like that. I ain't stayed with him that night. I had ended up going back home because he didn't stay home that night. He went somewhere else. So I ended up going back home. Y'all, when I tell y'all, the second I stepped foot into the fucking door, the second that I stepped foot into the fucking house, Legion texted me and said, come outside. Y'all, my heart was pounding. Because how the fuck is it that I just left this nigga, right? Mind you, this is the timeline of everything. It was a Friday that I got caught up when all that shit happened outside with Legion and low-key. I got caught up, but I wasn't sure if I had got caught up. So the whole weekend, Legion was trying to test my energy to see if I was going to tell him the truth or whatever, or see if I was going to see what I was going to say and shit. So Saturday and Sunday passed. Then Monday I ended up being with low-key again. When I was with him, he ended up bringing it up. And then after he had got out the car, I went home. And the second I stepped into the door, fucking Legion text me and say, come outside.
I was cracking up because I'm about to post some messages between me and my mom and me and my friend. I literally text both of them at the same time, like, oh my God, like, I just left, or I don't know if it said I just left low key, but I know it's messages that say, like, oh my God, like, Legion just popped up. Like, mind you, I had just left low key, so I was scared as shit, but this is messages of me texting my friend and my mom.
Yo, my heart was in my fucking ass because I said for sure this nigga's about to slap me tomorrow. It's like, cause I'm like, yo, I feel like low key said something, but I wasn't sure. So I'm scared as shit because the timing was just a little too weird. But coming to find out, it was just another random pop up. The nigga popped up at my house every day, so I don't know why I thought this time would be any different than any other time of him just popping up. But it just so happened that he just popped up, so he just texted me like, come outside, and I'm scared as shit. I'm stalling, bitching, not trying to go outside. So mind you, it's probably like 2-3 o'clock in the morning or some shit like that. Probably not that late. So I end up going outside or whatever. So I'm just looking like, I'm like scared. I'm not thinking about to try to fight me. So I end up getting in the car and shit. So he like, the first thing he do is bring it up. Like, yeah, like, why I really think that was da-da-da-da. And I'm just laughing like, shut up. Like, I'm still trying to play it, like, that was not him. He like, yeah, that nigga was like, stop playing. Like, he will always bring it up. So he'll always bring it up, I guess, to try to see if like my energy would change or whatever. But he ended up not really saying shit or whatever. So I ended up being with him like all night. I think we ended up pulling all nighter. We had like went to Wawa. We just was together like for a long ass time. Okay, I really gotta end this story now because I'm about to run out of space. So I'm literally almost done, y'all. Like almost done. So yeah, y'all, long story short, at this point, Legion know about Low-Key know about Legion. I feel like my lips look a little funny, like I'm missing some, I don't know, I don't like the way they look. But, like, they look too pink or something. I don't like that. But anyway, yeah, so at this point, Legion already knew about Low-Key. Now Low-Key know about Legion. Now Legion knows Low-Key knows about him. But Low-Key don't know Legion. Well, yeah, it's all the same shit. So basically,
so another part that I had left out was when I was in the car with Low-Key, and when at this point when I said that me and Legion was standing outside my job, and I had actually ended up admitting to him that, you know, Low-Key, like, that was Low-Key and all this other shit. Basically they both, it was crazy because when they both like found out, they both said the same thing, like, no wonder, like, that nigga stopped talking to me out of nowhere. That nigga stopped answering my calls out of nowhere. Like, they both were saying the same thing about each other. Like, oh, that's why that nigga wasn't answering the phone. Like, that was funny. But yeah, they basically both was like saying the same thing. Like, oh, because of you, that's why that nigga stopped fucking with me, and vice versa.
Yeah, so that was that or whatever. So we was standing outside the job. Like I said, we are very much almost done here, okay? We're almost done with this part. And I promise, the next part, the last part, y'all going, it's not going to be this. It's going to be a whole nother. I'm probably going to film it tomorrow. I'm not going to lie. That's going to be the last part. That's all the drama right there, okay? So, long story short, all this time going, so remember I told y'all, like, he asked for another chance and shit like that. I'm like, I don't really know like that. But because I didn't really know, he was like kind of more so on my ass now, because it's like, he don't know, I don't really know if I want to give him a chance. Like, I'm gonna fuck with you. I know you a fucking liar, which is why it's like, why would I even want to deal with somebody like that? But it's like, I still had love for this boy at the end of the day. But it's like, I know I can never take you, I know I can never really take you serious, because it's like, how can I take somebody serious that, like, I can't believe nothing that comes out of your mouth? It's like, we never going to get nowhere. But it's like, I already started this shit with you, so it's like, I'ma just have fun with it till I get another nigga type shit. I'ma just keep you around at my convenience, like, because it's like, that's all I could do at this point. It's like, I got love for you. And it's like, it got to the point with me and him where it's like, I had so much love for him that it's like, you was a fucking weirdo. Like, he was a goofy and all that, but it's like, he never allowed me, like I said, he never allowed me to be done with him. So it's like, he'll bogart his way in my life so bad that it's like, I kind of started feeling like I needed him to be a part of my life. Like, but not in that way. Like, not in a romantic relationship way. I'm just saying, like, period. Like, just, it's like, that's like my, like, I feel like he a friend, like, and it's like, it would feel weird, because you know how, like, you start fucking with somebody, once y'all start fucking with each other, y'all don't really talk anymore after that. It's like, y'all move on and the situation be done. Like, y'all don't talk no more after that. Like, it's niggas that I stopped dealing with that I ain't talked to them niggas in years, because that's just what it is. But it's like, with him, it's like, I ain't gonna say I can never find myself to do it, is that I got a piece of hair or something right here, that's why I'm doing it. But I'm not gonna necessarily say I couldn't like find myself to do it. It's like he wouldn't allow me, which kind of wouldn't like, and I wouldn't like force myself to do it. Like I wouldn't never really force myself to cut him off, because it's like he wasn't going for that shit anyway. Like if I tried to ignore that boy, he would be at my front door on the fucking Ring camera. Okay, so this was the night that we was at my job or whatever, and I like basically was telling him about low key and stuff, and I was like, well, like I told him everything, and like when it was all said and done, he told me he still loved me and all that. Like, so yeah, it was tea, especially with you, because you thought you was threatening me, thinking you was telling him something. So yeah, so that was that or whatever. So it was probably like he was under my ass real bad, yo. Like when I tell you he came here and he was here and was staying here every night for over a week. He was here, like we was like he was here, like he was really here. So at this point we like fucking with each other and shit like that. And so then that's when when we was out there or whatever, that's when after he left, he texted me and was like, my daughter might have to stay with us because my mom got work at 11. So basically, like I said, every time he got his daughter, he never really had her. It's like if he was with me, he'll always make his mom or his sister or somebody get his daughter and shit. So he was like, basically like my daughter might have to stay with us because my mom got work at 11. So he like why the fuck you just telling me? Basically saying like why is his mom just now telling him that she got work? So I was like, that's fine. So that was that or whatever. So yeah, this is probably like day 2 of him asking me, day 2 or day 3 of him asking me for a chance, right? He's asking for a chance. You're begging for a chance. You was begging for a chance before I landed my flight and I came back here from Jamaica. You was begging for a chance this entire time. So I don't really feel like you're worthy of it, like honestly speaking. But it's just like, and it's like with everything that I know, like the type of person that I am is like, I literally can only trust you one time. And outside of that one time, that shit is runts. Like I'm telling you, like it's never going to be the same. We might as well not even fuck with each other, because I'm not going to believe shit you say. Anytime you're not with me, I'm not going to believe nothing that you say. Anytime you're not with me, you're not around me, I'm going to believe you're with a bitch, or you're lying about your baby, or whatever the case may be. And still, to this point, I still haven't been in your house yet. So it's like, everything that I'm thinking, you're basically confirming. And back to rewind a little bit, back to, remember when I told you I went out with my friend, I was out with my friend all day, he came to pick me up or whatever, and then we went to his mom's house. I remember that night. Remember how I told y'all how he'll be saying like weird shit about him and his baby mom? Like he'll try to say, I'll marry you and my baby mom. Like shit like that. It's like shit like that would throw me off, and they'd be like, what the fuck you mean? So it's like, I remember we was sitting in the car before we went in the house or whatever, and he said something along them lines again, like I'm gonna really marry you and my baby mom. And it'd be like, what the fuck is you on? Like what are you on? Like stop saying that shit. And I will black on him every time he say it, because and he'll always try to act like he just playing like, I don't want that bitch, da, da, da. But it's like, yes you do. Like you're not gonna play like that. It like that's weird. And it's like, do you not understand that like that's a turn off? Like that's not cute that you saying it. But anyway, fast forward again. So like I said, this is like his 3rd day asking me for a chance or whatever. Like, you know, we talked about it, whatever. I wasn't necessarily for it, but it was like whatever, like type shit. So it was like, okay. So like I said, at this point he stayed, no, at this point he probably was only there at my house for probably like 2 days, but he stayed there, not straight, like he'll leave and like come back and shit, but I'm saying he like was staying with me every night type shit. So this probably like the 2nd or 3rd night that we together. Mind you, this nigga keep begging me for a chance, keep telling me he want to be with me and all this cool shit. So it's like, I know you full of shit though, like that, all that begging is not moving me for real, but it's like, it was crazy. Like, so it's like he was doing all that begging and shit, and before I actually gave him like a chance like with a relationship, it's like I think I did tell him like we could probably take it slow or some shit like that. So that's what we was doing. So then he back to trying to spend all his time with me and shit like that. So no sooner after he asked me for a second chance, but mind you, I never said yes to the relationship yet. So you asked me for a second chance or whatever, and the next day, right? So alright, this is the next day. he leaving because he stayed the night there. He stayed the night here, and then he probably left like late as shit the next night. So he stayed the night here and didn't leave probably to like fucking, let me see what time it was. I can tell you exactly what time it was because he texted me as soon as he left at 8:53. So he stayed the night and then didn't leave till like 9 o'clock the next night. So mind you, right, he know I'm always like trying to look at his code and shit like that because he got 2 phones. He know I'm always trying to look at his code and shit like that. So it'd be so many times where he'll try to type in the code and then he'll do this, like, so I can't really see it or whatever. So you know, it got to be times where I don't really pay attention so I could catch that code. So because one thing about me, baby, I go through phones. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sugarcoat or nothing. Yes, I go through phones. Okay, I go through phones. Any nigga that think he my future nigga, if you're out there and you're watching this, just know I'm going to go through your phone. I go through phones. I don't care. I probably should stop, but I go through phones. I'm a phone go through. I don't care. So long story short, all right. So I finally figure out his code and shit, right? So he got 2 phones. So he talking on one phone, right? Mind you, we was upstairs, so we was sitting on the edge of the bed. We was like sitting like on the, you know how people sit on the side of the bed, like sit on the edge of the bed. So like you're not laying down, you're sitting up, you're sitting on the edge of the bed with your legs on the floor. So that's how we sitting on the bed or whatever. So he's right here, he's next to me. So he on the phone, real bro, because mind you, I told y'all that fucking phone would be glued to his hand. He would be pulling all-nighters on that phone, just doing shit in them Telegram dog group messages or on the phone with FaceTime. He had just, yo, I don't even think I told y'all. When me and him was on a fucking date, I told y'all that he be on his phone so much. When me and him was on a fucking date, our first date, we went fucking drunk bowling. I told y'all that. So you know the drunk bowling thing, it's like you walk in and then it's like that. Well, y'all don't know, but I'm explaining it. The drunk bowling thing is like you walk in, to the left is the bar and shit like that. It's upstairs and shit like that, and you could play like they got the games like the air hockey and all this shit upstairs. So we had to wait for our number to be called because the bowling alleys was like the lanes was like full and shit like that. So we had to wait for our number to be called. They give you like a little thing to call your number, like how if you go to like a restaurant with Red Lobster or something, they give you the little buzz thing and it's going to vibrate when it's ready for you. So that's what the bowling thing had. So we had went there. So while we was waiting, we had got a drink, but he had me drinking by myself. He was so hyped to buy me a drink though, but had me drinking by myself because it was Ramadan. I'm probably gonna insert that in here. So we had went upstairs. So we had went upstairs because he was like let's like go play the games while we wait or whatever. Because first we was sitting there, but he was like let's go upstairs, like let's go play the games. So we went upstairs or whatever. We playing the games and shit. This nigga like this. We playing air hockey. Yo, bro, yeah, bro, cause such and such and such and such. He playing the game just like this. This how he is the whole time on the whole date. The whole date. He got this phone like this and he's talking.
So before we had even went upstairs to play the games, we was like sitting at a table at first. Like first it was just us like sitting across from each other at this table. Yeah, before we even got upstairs to the game, he already was on the phone. So we sitting at the table where a time where we could be talking and, you know, spending time with each other and shit like that. The nigga was on the phone the whole time while we was sitting at the table, while we sitting across from each other. Then we went upstairs. It's like, yo, he never let that phone go. And when I say he was on the phone when we was sitting across from each other at the table, I mean he was talking on the phone. Not texting. He was actually having full-blown conversations on the phone. Ew.
You know how cringy and annoying that is? The entire date, this nigga was on his phone like, yeah, bro, he playing air hockey like this with one hand. Well, you play with one hand anyway, but he like this with one hand, like not giving me no type of time. But you wanted to go on this date. He always want to go on dates so bad, like, oh, let's pop out tonight. Let's pop out tonight. Why you never pay attention to me though? Like, what the fuck? He just was cringe as a whole. So what the fuck happened? So like I said, what part was I on? Yeah, so he's sitting right here. So he on the phone, yeah, bro. I'm sitting next to him, right? So he had did some shit where he had like he was doing something with Uber. And he had got a code sent to my phone for Uber, for an Uber account. He got a code sent to my phone for an Uber account. So he's sitting like this on the phone. I'm sitting next to him. And I figure I already know his code. So I'm like this. I'm sitting here like just like this. Right next to him. Mind you, this is his phone. I'm like just going through his phone just like this, like I want to show you exactly how I was, like scrolling through every fucking thing, access to everything, right? He's so big, he don't even know. And mind you, we're sitting like this, we're shoulder to shoulder, but he's not paying attention. He's too busy on the phone. And we're sitting like this, shoulder to shoulder, literally touching each other, shoulder to shoulder. That's how close we is. I'm sitting there like, just like this, scrolling, just scrolling and reading, but nothing is phasing me because I don't give a fuck about you no more. So I know you're a piece of shit. So I'm not phased by anything that I'm seeing, but I still want to see it. So I'm going through his phone just like this. So whatever he did after he got off the phone, after he got off the phone or whatever, he like, but what was that code that Uber sent to your phone? So I'm like this. I said, I don't know where my phone is. I was like, I don't know where my phone is. He turned around like, and I know in his head he thinking like, well, bitch, if you talking about where your phone is, who fucking phone is that in your hand? He peeped, and yo, he tackled me so fucking hard. Like, he tackled me so fucking hard and snatched the shit out of this phone. He was so fucking salty. So let me tell y'all what I saw. Okay, so for one, of course he's texting bitches. I didn't really see much because it wasn't really much time. But for one, he was texting, but it was one bitch in particular that he was texting that I seen. This is the hours before you was texting this girl, you was literally begging me, okay, no, get another chance and all this other shit. Hours before this, you was begging me for another chance. And even though I hadn't said yes yet, you still was in my face trying to prove yourself. He's on the phone talking to this girl at 1 in the morning. I feel like he either was with me at the time or he was like on his way to me. Or I feel like he was, I'm not sure. Texting a girl, let me taste it and all this other cool shit. Mind you, yo, I don't give two fucks. I don't give a half of a fuck. I do not care because I don't care about you. So it's like, I already been through this with you. I already, not been through this, but it's like I already been through enough with you to know you are a fucking joke. Like, at this point, I'm just enjoying my time. No, I don't want to see nothing about no other bitches, but it's like, at this point, I'm just enjoying my time. Like, I'm not surprised at no shit like this, but this is why when you ask me for another chance, the answer be, I don't know. So, he seen that or he tagged my phone, like, I mean, he tagged me, he took the phone, like, yo, why the fuck would you do that? Like, you be fucking drawing, like, I should go tell your mom. Talking about he should go tell my mom. Talking about I should go tell your mom. We already said we wasn't gonna go through each other's phones. I never said that. First of all, rewind back to when I broke up with him. Remember when I said he always used to pop up here, take my phone, 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 go through my phone, snatch my phone, all kind of shit. No problem, because it ain't shit in there. I don't talk to nobody. I really don't talk to nobody. I'm very faithful when I'm fucking with somebody. So, the last time he did it, you can have my phone. But I want yours as well. As soon as I did that, he started trying to slide the phone down and do all this weird shit. Mind you, he only popped up because he felt like I was drifting away from him. Like, he knows my energy. Like, especially when he feel like I'm trying to drift apart from him, he will pop up. Like, he will pop up and be like, you been giving me your ass to kiss and da 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 da. He'll always say so. He'll always be in his feelings. So he told me like, yeah, why the fuck would you do that, man? Yo, like, I should go. So he's salty. He's hurt because he just did all this begging and begging and pleading and begging and pleading, and I ain't worried about this bitch, that bitch, all this other cool shit, just to turn around and for me to see that in your phone is the exact opposite of what you're telling me. But I already knew that. I'm not stupid. So he mad because now he like, damn, like, now, bitch, like, I'm trying to prove myself and I can't even prove myself because you want to go through my phone type shit. So he like, yeah, like, why the fuck would you do that? Like, I should go tell your mom, yo, we already said that we wasn't going through each other's phones no more. Da, 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 da.
Mind you, the only reason why he said that was because, like I said, when he took my phone that last time and I gave it to him and shit, and we got into that argument and I broke up with him and shit like that, I told y'all my mom was right there. Like, she witnessed the whole thing, so she knew he was full of shit and all of that. But then, like, after the fact, she basically was doing some shit like, oh, well, you don't gotta break up with him. But she was like, you just gotta be on some shit like, you're not going through, if I can't go through your phone, you're not going through mine. Just don't even go through each other's phones and shit. So that's where he got that from. He got that shit from my mom. But me, I never told him I wasn't going through his phone. I don't know why he listened to her.
Cool. So I said, I started laughing. I start cracking the fuck up, y'all. I said, Legion, I said, I don't even give a fuck. I said, I don't care. You do care because I care. And da-da-da-da. I said, Legion, I don't give a fuck. Like, I said, I'm not mad. Like, why you think... That's how you know when you're done, when you literally don't feel shit. Like, usually a bitch will see that shit and they chest will get hot. Like how I said when I found out the first shit. That's about it. Like, that first time. Other than that, like... It's like, why the fuck would I care? Why would I care? Like, literally, why would I care? So I'm like Legion. I said, I don't give a fuck. He like, you do give a fuck because I care and da 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 da. So I'm like, I don't. Like, you so hyped for nothing. I'm like, here, you can have your phone back. Oh, also, wait, I did see other stuff in there. Now I already had inklings at this point that the nigga was broke, but now I really found out the nigga was broke. So not only did I see that, of course I click on his baby mom messages. But guess what? Remember how I told y'all we were sitting outside the loft, we were sitting outside my job? It was a number that kept calling him, because before he had his baby mom name saved under blank mom, like whatever the daughter name is, her mom. Like, that's how he had the I ain't gonna say the daughter name, but that's how he had the name saved or whatever. Like, say if his daughter name was Emily, the name in the phone was Emily mom. That was the name in the phone. So it's this that was the name in the phone last time I seen it. So it's this number that keep blowing up his, not blowing up his phone, but I think they probably called him like twice. Like, they called him the first time, he declined it. I think they called again. So he like, the name says something like, say if the baby mom name start with a fucking D, right? The name on the joint said, it was like this nickname that was like D Loso or some shit like that. So I'm asking him, I'm like, well, who that calling you or whatever? He like, that's my grandma. She keep da 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 da. Mind you, the name in the phone is D Loso. That wasn't really the name, but that wasn't really the initial, but that's like whatever. So it said D Loso. So I'm like, well, who that call you? So he's saying it's his grandma. So I'm like, okay, like, I didn't know what else the fuck to think. Like, I don't know, like, okay. So I go to those messages. Mind you, I already felt like he was lying. So with it, lo and behold, the first messages I clicked on, or I think the second messages I clicked on was D Loso. Guess who it is? His fucking baby mom. So I scroll all the way to the top. I scroll. Now, it wasn't messages of them fucking with each other, but it was just messages of T. Apparently, he was behind on his rent, like, all these months, and couldn't pay his rent, and she basically was saying, like, I know you, like they was talking about him, well, she was talking about him being depressed and stuff, and she was basically on some shit like, I could ask my manager for extra hours so I can help with the rent and stuff. Like, you trying to clock in for this nigga? Like, he got all the shit he be doing out here in the streets doing, and you have to stop. Like, you gotta clock in and try to do extra hours to. But yeah, he told me he don't live with you. Like, he never claimed that. He never claimed, even after all of this, he still never claimed he lived with this girl. And she like, I could clock in and do extra hours, and something about him being depressed, and a lot of times he was texting her, he was ignoring the shit out of her. A lot of times she was calling, he was ignoring the shit out of her, and she texting and begging him to answer the phone, or begging him to open the door and stuff like that. But the main thing that stood out was her basically, like, they was talking about him not being able to pay the rent, and but he wasn't really saying too much. It really was her trying to like force a conversation out of this nigga, and she like saying, yeah, I could pick up extra hours to help with the rent, or try to pay the rent this month, or whatever the fuck she said. And I don't know, whatever the fuck it was. And she like, why don't you ask the landlord for an extension? What else was in there? I know it was messages of him trying to make her mad with me, basically saying like, oh, because one of them times he kept saying he was bringing the baby over, and he kept saying like, my girl go and watch her, and she was like, I'm not in the mood to be playing with you, and he was like, I'm not playing, like, my girl go and watch her, da 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 da. shit just, I don't know, whatever. But long story short, the nigga couldn't afford his fucking rent. He had no fucking money, nothing. He had no money. So that was that or whatever. So long story short, he you know, he was mad as shit about the phone shit or whatever. And I'm telling him, I'm like, you think I'm mad? I said, I don't give a fuck. He didn't like my response. Like, he didn't like the fact that I was saying I didn't give a fuck. But it's like, I don't give a fuck. Like, what you want me to say? Like, I'm being honest. Like, I don't care. Like, once a nigga do what he do, it's like, I'm not gonna care. Like, it's like you already showed me who you was, so it's like, how can I care? Like, I already know your character, nigga. Like, I'm not stupid, so it's like, whatever. But I don't know. But long story short, he ended up texting me after he left or whatever. Like, he was sorry. At the end of the day, whether I was saying I don't care or not, he still was sorry he got caught. Like, he felt stupid. So he, like, as soon as he left or whatever, he texted me like, I really love you, I'm sorry, real shit, I was wrong for entertaining. He said I was entertaining, I'm wrong for that. And he was like, can you forgive me? He said, you got my passwords, I really don't be on shit. Nigga, I don't have your passwords. Cause you saying that like I got your passwords because you gave them to me. Nigga, I have your passwords because I stole them from you. I had to sneak and get them. I said, we could talk when you get back. He said, you really want to start? I said, start what? He said, you really crazy as fuck. You got to stop that. We been cool. Basically saying, don't start your shit because we been cool. I said, you always saying I gotta choose either you or other niggas, but you always trying to fuck with me and other bitches at the same time. It's not that. I'm not for the bullshit, Leisha. I'm really not. If that's what you want to do, then do it. But you're not going to be doing it with me. Period. You're not going to be doing that with me. He said, I don't fuck with nobody but you. He said, see, yo. I said, because that's just how he told, like, see, yo, I tried to tell you, yo. Like, that's how he be. So he basically saying, I don't fuck with nobody but you. He said, see, yo. I said you was, though. I said, we either going to do this or we not, and you could go where you happy at. I said, do you want to be with me, yes or no? He said, I told you I want to be with you. I promise I won't play with you, shaking my head. I said, I really want to be able to trust you this time. I need you to tighten up for real. He said, we both got to tighten up. I said, I don't feel like I have to. I'm all about you as long as I'm getting treated right. I don't care about nobody else. I said, but like I said, we going to talk. Where you at and are you coming back? So that was pretty much that or whatever. I guess we was on the phone after that. So we were just like talking and stuff, like talking through Instagram or whatever, and that was pretty much it. Really wasn't nothing else that really happened between, it wasn't really nothing else that happened. I know he texted me out of nowhere, but I guess he must have called me and I ain't answered the phone or something. I don't fucking know, but he like, you with a nigga, huh? Just weird. So but this was him texting me a picture of some scooter he was trying to sell. He wanted me to, I had posted it on Instagram for him. But anyway, the next day we was talking. He said he had court. So why the fuck this nigga had court and was asking me, he kept asking me like I got court on the 29th or whatever, but kept saying like, did I want to go with him and shit. But whole time, come to find out, I wasn't the only person he was asking. So like, what the fuck would you go and go there with me? And like, I'm just be confused. Like, he just always be just asking shit or saying shit, and like, I don't really be calling his bluff when I really be needing to. So it's like, you be asking me, did I want to go to court with you? No, and then well, you never wanted me to go to the court date, but he asked me multiple times. So I don't know, we was talking or whatever. Not really much, we just talking regular. So then here's another example. I'm texting him or whatever. Here's another example. I'm texting him, he's barely texting back. He going back to his bullshit. Like, don't do that. That shit is a fucking pet peeve or whatever. So I said, I'm over here dying and you didn't even call me back. Yeah, I said, you 3 for 3. Because, nigga, this the 3rd time you left me for dead. What the fuck? So he like, bro, I keep falling asleep so tired. Can't keep my eyes open. But I'm glad I got my rest I needed. I didn't sleep in 3 days for real. Blah, blah, blah. All this cool shit. Whatever the fuck he was talking about. So fast forward again. He was texting me, but not calling me. And he was supposed to call me. Didn't call me, so I texted him. I said, you starting your bullshit already? He wasn't texting me back all this time. I don't know, y'all going to see the screenshot or whatever. And he talking about, I texted him like 4 times. He texted me like 2 o'clock the next day talking about I just woke up. I said, bro, I called you 20 times. You could have texted and let me know you was back in the house or something. I thought something happened to you. Shaking my head. I don't know. It just started being a bunch of weird shit. And I said, he said his phone don't be on the ringer. You knew I was asleep. I said, that's not what I'm saying though. I said, I'm saying you said you was calling me back on your way home and didn't. I'm just saying if you wasn't gonna call, you could have texted, please let me know you was on your way home or whatever. But it's like, I'm not about to keep communicating it and keep saying the same fucking thing. It's annoying. It's annoying. I'm not about to keep repeating myself like about simple ass shit that you should know how to do as a boyfriend. So it's like, I don't know, long story short, we was going back and forth about that. Basically, he thought I was trying to accuse him of being with a bitch. So I don't think this video going down low, but he basically sent me a video of him being with one of his traps, like one of the people that he sold to or whatever. So he basically telling me like I'm at her house, so please don't assume. I don't know. He basically was trying to send me that to try to prove that he wasn't with a bitch and shit. So long story short, every day we just talking. Then he gonna come out of nowhere. He like, one time he gonna text me talking about, I really love everything about you. You really mean a lot to me. Wallahi. I said, I love you too. What you doing and where you at? He said, why you put that emoji? I said, no reason, just asking what you up to. So he sent me a screenshot. I don't know what it was and it's not loading. Oh, there we go. He was showing me a screenshot that he was on the phone with somebody. So he said, man, I'm not up to nothing. I got a headache and blah, blah, blah. Whatever, we was, I don't know. So then he texted, he just was being like extra loving this night, like texting me and shit. So he texted me like, I woke up, he texted me at like 5 in the morning, like, I woke up missing you. Can you wake up? I want to hear your voice. So I called him like 2 minutes later. I said, why you not, he ain't pick up the phone. I said, why you not pick up the phone? Why you not picking up the phone? I said, you always on some weird sneaky shit. He said, I fell back to sleep. Shut the fuck up. That was weird. That was weird as shit, real shit. He just was a weirdo. Long story short, he still was coming to stay with me most nights. So blah blah blah. We story is about to be over in 2 seconds, y'all. Neil is like, it's so funny because I'm like reading shit of like him saying while he was taking so long, he'll try to say, oh, his daughter not falling asleep or something, and it'd be like, whole time that pussy probably wasn't even with his fucking daughter. But anyway, long story short, oh no, I'm lying. Well, then again, I don't know if I'm lying. I think he did go with his daughter. He went to go do something because this was another cart. This was another time I had let him hold the cart, but I think he had just went to go pick his daughter up and drop her off or something like that. But he took so fucking long. He took so fucking long. This nigga was going for like 2-3 hours. So we was talking, and it's like it got to the point where he started burning me out. And I'm like, you drawing or whatever. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm like telling him he drawing. He like, how the fuck I'm drawing? I had to get my daughter and all this other cool shit. So I don't know. We basically arguing because he burning me the fuck out. I said I don't give a fuck. The fuck I said you was going for 4 whole hours. So he just was burning me out because like you out doing some fucking weird ass sneaky shit. So basically he was sending me a video of him pumping the gas and shit like that. All this other shit. So why this nigga gonna try? Remember how I told you how he used to always try to come in a house, try to act like he was outside the house and whole time, or it'd be like you had me sitting out here for an hour, and it'd be like, nigga, you never even fucking called me. Like, what are you talking about? So long story short, he tried to pull that again. He gonna text me talking about, so you're not gonna open the door? I said, you left the door open, it's still open. He said, so you didn't hear me out here this whole time? I've been sitting out here for damn near an hour. Why the fuck would I know that if you didn't tell me you was outside? Weirdo. So I said, hear you what? I said, what the fuck did you, I gotta hurry up because this lady's battery about to die. I said, hear what? I said, what the fuck are you talking about? You standing in front of the step and never came on the porch. The fuck don't irk me. I said, fuck if you thought the door was closed. Why wouldn't you call or knock? So long story short, I ended up opening the door and he was out sitting on the step like a weirdo. But why the fuck would I know that? So that was that or whatever, and we was going back and forth. Yeah. So I think this, I don't even know how long before, what day was this that he had asked for a relationship or whatever. What? Fucking October 2nd, or let me get the exact date. Let me get the exact date. It had to be probably like October 2nd when I said I'm not doing this with you, like we either going to do this or we not type shit. Oh, that was September 28th, right? So let's fast forward to October 6th, which will be the last day of this story. The last day of the story, October 6th. Do y'all know that this stupid ass nigga was with me? He stayed the night with me and shit like that. This stupid ass nigga, like this, how locked in I was with them. Is like it'd be times like he'll stay here or whatever, and I would leave and go out and shit like that, and leave him sleeping here and stuff like that. Like he'll really be here like all in my face the whole time. Like you, just a fucking weirdo. Can I tell you how this stupid ass nigga butt out me? He was with me the whole night and whole day and all of that. I goes to drop him off. Not even an hour later, not even a half hour later, I don't think. You know this stupid ass nigga butt out me with a bitch. Not only did he butt down me with a bitch, the nigga butt down me and didn't realize he was butt dialing me for an hour. 50 minutes to be exact. 50. For 50 minutes, this dickhead sat on the phone, was with a bitch, and did not know he was on the phone with me the entire time. The entire fucking time. But we're going to get into that on the next story. That's where we're going to end this story right here. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to get into the details of everything else. We're going to get into the details of everything else. Depending on how I'm feeling tomorrow, I might finish recording tomorrow. Might record that last part tomorrow. I might want to finish it before this wig get all the way busted. I don't know. But that's where we're going to leave that off at. This nigga butt dialed me for 50 minutes. 10 minutes to an hour. With another bitch. No sooner than I fucking dropped them off, you got out the car with me and had another bitch come pick you up. So yeah, that we're going to end this story on this note. I know this is about another 10 hours. But yeah, we're going to end this story here. And make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. I know this is long, but yo, we got one more part. I know I'm probably going to have to split the rest into 1,000 million pieces. Literally, I uploaded 50 clips today. Every clip that's on this camera, they're in 10-minute increments. So do the math. So I know for a fact I'm going to have to split this shit up. I'm either going to have to split it up, or it's going to have to be like, y'all know I did a 2-hour story time before. An hour and a half to 2 hours. It's like, depending on how it is. I don't want them to be too long and too cluttered. But depending on how it is, we're going to see how I give it up to y'all. But I love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in once again. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget Second Chance Approvals by Ming if you need any cars. I'm about to say clothes. Cars, apartments, houses, credit cards, loans, any of that good shit. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram at Second Chance Approvals by Ming. I love y'all, and I'm going to see y'all in my next video. Bye.